Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, every day seems a little longer. Every way, love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? There you go, baby, here am I. Will you left me here so I could sit and cry? Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Love you like I do.
Welcome again to Cars and Us. Today we're up in Orange, Connecticut, at the Orange Fairgrounds, as a matter of fact, for the 8th annual Shriners Car Club show. Real great show that they have up here. It's at the fairgrounds, so they have a lot of room. They can accommodate upwards of 2,000 cars. A little bit of overcast today. It was raining actually this morning, so they've got a great turnout so far. We're about midday, and I would estimate there's probably 400 cars at this point. They're still coming in as we speak. But we look forward to talking perhaps with some of the Shriners themselves and members of the car club anyway. And of course, we're going to get busy and start talking to these car owners and show you some of these beautiful cars. So stick with us for the next 30 minutes. One of the first cars we saw came in on a trailer. And there's a vast variety of cars. We'll get to some of them after. But this one you couldn't miss, because not only when he pulled in on a trailer with the car, but when he pulled off, it's a beautiful, full-blown race car. It's a Hemi Cuda. And I have Jim Shortino, the owner, and he's with a group up here. They got a lot of cars up here, the Dead End Boys. So we're going to welcome Jim to Cars and Us.
Thank you.
All right, and tell us a little something about the Dead End Boys. Where are you guys from?
We're from the Bridgeport area. I'm out of Trumbull myself. We have guys basically all over southern Connecticut. We've been a group for about 2 months now, but it's a group that was started actually in the 80s by the original members, and they reformed it. And we have probably about 30 members now.
How'd you come up with the Dead End Boys?
That I couldn't tell you, because I'm not one of the original members. So you'd have to ask Tony Valentino.
Charter.
No, I'm not a charter. I was an add-on down the road.
Let's talk about this car you have, because really it's outstanding. To see a race car is kind of a little bit of my background, so they always intrigue me. And as I said, I saw the car come in on the trailer, and I said, boy, I want to. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to hear you fire it up later on.
Absolutely.
But full blown, I understand that you actually drive this on the street too.
Yes, it's registered, it's licensed, has working headlights, taillights, got a horn, third brake light. It's about as street legal as you can make a car like that. So I do drive it around occasionally.
Obviously, you spend more time racing it.
No, the car is fairly new, and I'm building a second car. And when that car is done, a Dodge Dart, then we're going to race both of them.
Are you? What classes do they fall in?
This is more like a top sportsman car, which is a fast bracket class.
I was just going to say that now you've got it running a bracket. So what is this, an 8-second bracket?
It's actually should be a low 7-second bracket.
Excuse me. Now, it's powered by?
It is powered by a 526 cubic inch Chrysler Hemi aluminum engine with a PSI screw blower. Runs on C16 fuel. Makes about 1,700 horsepower, and it has about a 300 horsepower system of nitrous that we will never use.
All right, now I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to tell the viewers about the blower, because it's definitely a different supercharger.
The blower is basically 2 screws inside the case instead of a Roots, which has lobes. It makes the blower more efficient, so it can run at higher boost levels and higher blower speeds without creating the heat of a Roots blower motor. So you can counteract detonation without really going to lower overdrives that you would have to do with the Roots or alcohol. So I run this on gasoline, race gas.
Now, the compression ratio, that always plays a factor. It did years ago. What's the compression ratio on that?
The static compression ratio, which is the motor off, is 8.2 to 1. The camshaft plays a big part,
Obviously.
in dynamic compression ratio. But basically, at 8,000 RPM on the dyno, that made 20 pounds of boost where we have the overdrive right now. So.
What, and there's a dyno here, as a matter of fact, but obviously you know what this horsepower puts out.
We had it on an engine dyno,
Right.
so we know exactly what the engine has. So.
What's it putting out?
It has 1,700 horse and about 1,250 foot-pounds of torque.
You're saying a 7-second car, so obviously you're estimating that you're going to run in a 7-second bracket?
The car weighs 2,660 pounds, and with the power-to-weight ratio that we know the motor has, if we can figure out the clutch, we should be able to run low 7s with the car without too much problem.
Jimmy, you're the driver.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
The other thing is I wanted to know about the paint job, number one, because it's really a nice paint job, and some of the other details on the car that the viewers are going to take a look at as we're speaking.
Well, the chassis was built by Mark Markow, MRC Race Cars, outstanding shop. The paint was done in Bristol by Ron at Connecticut Auto Madness, and the graphics were done at Road Studio by Bob Gorski. All great guys to deal with, reasonable, top shelf craftsmen. The construction of most of the car was done by those guys. My brother and I, along with Ray Barton Racing Engines in Pennsylvania, did the engine.
Right.
And that's basically the main people in the construction of the car.
Now, most of the viewers that watch the show know about high performance and about motors and racing and everything, and Ray Barton certainly is a big name in racing.
Yeah.
How'd you get hooked up with him?
Well, he's been pretty much a Hemi guru for years, and he has a shop that is completely Hemi-friendly as far as machining, dynoing. No matter what you do, if it's a Hemi, you don't have to leave the shop to get it done. So, and it's a relatively short drive, a couple hundred miles to his shop from here, so it's not too bad.
Where in Pennsylvania is he?
He is in Wernersville, I believe, when we started dealing with him, and I think he moved his shop, if I'm not mistaken, the town is now called Robisonia, which is right down the street from basically Wernersville where he was. He just moved into a bigger shop.
How long a ride or drive is that from here or from New York State?
It's from, I live in Trumbull, and it's about 204 miles door to door.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. Piece of cake, actually. Nice ride.
Bringing the car here today, obviously you guys don't need the exposure, but it adds a lot to the show.
All right, thank you very much. All my friends came, and rain or shine, it's only
You're
water.
here.
It's only water.
Jimmy, how many cars altogether have you got here?
We probably have, I would say, at least 20 cars plus, maybe. I haven't taken a count, but I would say at least 20.
Billy told me, he says, there's going to be a group of guys up here. They're going to have a bunch of race cars, so you're going to have, your choice of what cars to pick from. So I guess you're the group that he was referring to.
I would think. I guess. Yeah, we're the guys who like to go to the track and break the stuff every so often. So.
Yeah. Now, what track are you going to run? Lebanon Valley?
No, we're going to probably bring it eventually to ACO Raceway, because they do nice track rentals down there. And to dial the car in, we'd rather do it on a rental day because it's more laid back. You can get more runs.
ADCO is a drag racer's track.
Yeah.
Number one.
Is.
Number two, you got real good, real fast times out there, number two. But when you say that it's an easier track to rent, is that easier money-wise or in comparison to Lebanon Valley?
No, not necessarily money-wise. I'm not sure what the Lebanon Valley fee is for rentals. It's just that the track is normally a little bit faster in the same weather conditions as Lebanon Valley.
I alluded to that. That's
Yep.
that we know.
Yeah,
I was wondering if that was the main reason.
that's the main reason. It's all about the number.
But you intend to travel around, though, after you get it going.
Yeah, we'll probably go to Lebanon. We'll probably go to Englishtown. We'll probably go to Atco, like I stated. The usual area tracks.
Right? Will you go out to like Maple Grove and tracks out in PA?
Most likely. Probably maybe even New England Raceway up in New Hampshire.
Sure, Epping.
Yep,
that's
Epping.
That's what we know it by.
Yep, that's a good one.
Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And I thank you very kindly, and
Thank
good
you.
luck. And you know what? Maybe we'll get an opportunity when you get this thing going. We'll stay in touch, and you let me know when you're going through a
Sure.
drag strip, and we'll follow along. You know.
Sometime next summer we'll be ready.
Terrific.
Ready to go. Thank you.
Thank you much, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Another one of the Dead End Boys is Rick Tartaglia, and he's got this 39 Chevrolet. Well, I don't know what motor. I'm sorry, 40 Chevrolet. I'm not sure of what motor is in it, but it would probably be maybe a B gasser. But we'll have to. A-gas, all right.
A-gas.
We want to introduce Rick to Cars and Us. Thank you much.
You're welcome.
For joining us here. And before this car goes on the dyno, you know, we're going to find out a little bit about it. It's a real throwback to the old days.
yeah.
What made you go with something like this?
Just tribute to the old school.
Because you're relatively young.
Yeah, I'm 34. Obviously was not around in 60s.
Right. Well, that's okay.
I love the era. I love the originators. I love all the old school stuff. I wanted to do something that was 67, 1967, kind of
Right.
bring back. And a friend of mine, who was actually the president of Dead End Boys Car Club, Tony, had this car sitting in his shop. It was an old street rod that somebody tried to build, and he just wanted to sell it. He wasn't sure if he was going to build it, so I'm like, I'll build it. So I took it, and 2 years later,
Well, that's what we're looking at.
yeah. So
Again, let me get back to the driveline, the motor. What motor's in here?
it's actually a 327.
I thought so, but you know.
I kept it old. I wanted to keep it something that would have been 67. The only difference is I put in a 5-speed.
Did you?
Similar to the Doug Nash, but it's a Richmond 5-speed, so it just helps the car overall.
Obviously, before it goes on the dyno, do you know what kind of horsepower it's putting out, or is this going to be your?
No, no. The motor dynoed at 450 horse at the crank on a motor dyno, engine dyno, and it made 400 foot-pounds of torque. So it's a good little motor.
I'll say what's in it.
Goodies.
You're not disclosing? You mean you don't want the viewers to steal your
Well, there
secrets,
might
huh?
be people out there. No. It's got a, basically from the bottom end up, it's got a, obviously it's a new crank. It's a large journal, 327 crank that we obviously replaced with something a little bit stronger than stock.
Right.
It's got an Eagle rod, connecting rods in it. It's got a 10.5-to-1 forged piston, Brodix heads, aluminum racing heads that have some work done to them. Not a whole lot, but they're decent, right out of the box type, cylinder head. The intake's obviously a tunnel ram, old style tunnel ram intake, and the carburetors are custom built by CNS Specialties, which is in Missouri. So
Rick, what'd you do with the rear end?
it's actually a 12-bolt rear out of a Chevelle that I bought and refurbished the whole thing. It's a locker with a 4.5 gear, and it's actually got stock axles in it with a eliminator, C-clip eliminator kit, and just long wheel studs.
So it's a real throwback. You take this pretty much on the street all the time. You go to the shows and the cruises.
Oh yeah, and I race it.
I was just going to ask you that.
No,
Okay.
it's a race car I drive.
Where have you run the car?
Lebanon Valley, Englishtown, Atco.
You have.
Car goes very well. It pulls about 2.5 feet off the ground out of the hole.
What kind of ETs and miles per hour?
Last time I was up at Lebanon, which is a little bit higher elevation track, it ran 1132 at 116 miles an hour. And that was kind of all over the track, wheelie in first, wheelie in second. So it's a gas.
That's terrific. So basically you attend all the nostalgia.
I try, yeah. Yeah, that was actually at the Musclepalooza event.
Right. Was that the one in September?
Yeah, yep. So and that's the last time I was there. I'm supposed to go down next week actually to, or not next week, but a month from now to Atco. We have a rental. We basically rent.
Yeah,
the track.
Jimmy was telling us about that.
Yeah, we rent the track for the day. It's a good time. All of us get together and we go down and we just basically run the cars.
Now you have a shop.
Yeah. Yep. I got an auto repair shop. We do a lot of general auto repair. It's right in Monroe, Connecticut. And on top of that, I do a lot of performance, truck lifts, suspension, kits. Right now we're doing a 65 Nova project car, which is basically a complete restoration, with a whole street rod setup. So it's definitely, that's loud. I really want to try and get more into the hot rods, but there's really not a huge market for it, so I keep the auto repair going, and that just pays the bills, and then the hot rods are more fun.
Rick, you must be a big hit up at Bill's at Monroe, the cruise.
Yeah, every time I go up there, everybody loves the car. They always come around and they always talk about it.
Now, is that where you live too, Monroe?
No, actually, I live in Bridgeport.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, originally I'm from Trumbull, and then I moved to Bridgeport after I got married, right by North End area. So okay. It's nice. It's good for now.
In the background, we heard one of your other group with that Malibu. So we're going to look forward to hearing your car up there, Rick. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
All right, good luck, and maybe we'll catch you at the track.
Oh, definitely. I love going there.
One of the cars up here is a type of car that we would see out at Let East. It's a 1955 Mercury Montclair, but it's really an outstanding custom car, custom paint job. And we're going to talk to Ron Pizarro and find out all about this car. Ron,
How
pleasure.
you doing?
Pleasure. This is outstanding. Like I said, this is a throwback to Let East. I don't know if you go out there or not.
Yeah, it's California style.
Yeah, really. It's a real 50s style.
Yep.
It's just a beautiful car.
Yep.
Let's talk about the color first. This is PPG?
Yes, it is. It's a PBG color. Originally, I got it from another brand, but they mixed it PBG, and it's called Candy Copper.
Candy Copper.
Yeah.
You know what? This color is similar to a car, speaking of Let East, that was out there. It's a truck. It's an old Barris reproduction, and that's what they call it, the Copper Cart. And it's basically almost the same color.
Okay. Yep. No, but this is a brand new color out. I happened to be up Rhinebeck, and I saw the new color, chart that came out and whatnot, and this is the color I picked, and I think I went with a good choice.
Oh, absolutely. It's beautiful. Then is this car freshly painted?
Yeah, it's been painted about maybe 8 months ago.
How long did it take to build this car? Obviously, you built this yourself?
Okay, let me tell you a little story. I bought the car, I sent away, it was in California for sale. And I got the car here last September. I knew what I wanted to do to it when I got it. So once the season was over, me and a couple of buddies of mine took it all apart and went by my list, and this is exactly what I put down that I wanted. You know what I mean?
So this is what you envisioned?
Yeah, that was it. I did the custom grill on it, designed the whole interior. Those are 60 Thunderbird seats in there.
Is the interior, was it Naugahyde or is it leather?
That's leather.
It is?
Yes. That's done by a good friend of mine, Walt Carroll from A1 Upholstery. And a good friend of mine, Danny, painted it. And this was painted right in the garage, believe it or not,
It's possible, sure.
Yeah, the kid does really good work. I'm happy with it. The car came out really nice.
Ronnie, where are you from?
I'm from Derby, Connecticut.
Okay,
Originally out of Bridgeport.
Okay, you're close by.
Yeah.
And so the work was done in
The work was done in Trumbull and in Stratford,
Okay. Now you got the old style lake plugs on here.
Yeah. They used to be hooked up, but I didn't want them hooked up because, then they start turning colors and everything. They're basically for show. Yeah, just for show. Okay. Just like the spotlights.
You take the car out to all the cruises?
I drive it all the time.
You do?
All the time. I go to Lake George with it. We were just supposed to go to the Poconos, but it got rained out. But I'm not afraid to drive the car. I'll take it anywhere.
Yeah, this has been an iffy day, but it's we saw you actually pull in with this car and a color track message. You know what? Eventually, I got to find the owner and talk with him a little bit about the car. I want to ask you about the motor. What motor's in here?
The motor's a 351 Cleveland big block Ford. I just dressed it up. The motor was rebuilt before I got the car, so that was good at that end. Just put some chrome on it. Did a couple of other things to it.
But basically, the motor's been rebuilt.
Yeah, basically it's a stock 351 Cleveland. It's not a race car.
You know what? I like the gauges and the dash and the panel. That's really
believe it or not, that's original panel. It's just the gauges were put in.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the custom job.
Those are autometer gauges. Yeah. This way they're a lot better than the older style. You know what I mean? They're more accurate. So. But that basically, it's the car is what I want.
It's a great car. I mean, this is, like I said, this is a typical car we'd see out at Let East, where you have all the,
Yeah.
the custom, the wild customs.
One of these days I'll get down there, but I just
Oh,
so
it's a
many
great
things
show.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
I've been down there walking around. But I've never been down there with the vehicle, so
Well, you want to take the car out.
yeah, that's what people are telling me. So
definitely.
but
Well, you know what,
Like
you
I
do your
said-
local things, and you give people up here the opportunity to see the car, and now,
Yeah.
we get you on camera here, and
Yeah.
we'll give people in other areas from Long Island to the border of Rhode Island
okay.
to see the show.
I just want people to know that this used to be Gary's car from the Night Prowlers, the custom accessory car. He
and
had this in his
that's-
book. This was the one. I bought it from him, and this is what I did to it. So,
Well, you know what, you
lot
did a
of
great job, you had a good vision, and you had a good plan, and it worked out really well.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming with us, and
I
it's a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Enjoy the rest of the day, and
Okay.
we'll see you perhaps at Let East.
You got it.
Thank you, Ron.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Another Pro Street race car that actually was told to me that this car was here, but I didn't see it before because it's kind of tucked in over here out of the whole collection of cars that are here today. Andy Fiedler's 57 Pro Street Chevrolet. Andy, welcome to Cars and Us.
Nice to meet you.
All right, it's a pleasure, and this is everything that they said it was going to be.
Yep.
This is really nice car. It's a street car, so you obviously drive it on the street, go to cruises and shows.
Cruises, actually heading up the drag strip at the end of the week. We're gonna do a
Oh,
little
yeah. Where you
testing
going,
up there.
Lebanon?
Lebanon Valley. Hang out with the boys here at JW Racing quite a bit and
Okay.
just enjoy playing with the cars.
Where are you from?
Seymour, Connecticut.
Oh, Seymour. Okay,
Yep.
sure. I know where that's around the Derby area, right?
Right, just a little bit past
okay.
Derby.
Yeah. Now let's tell the viewers what motor's in here and what you've done to it.
Car's got a 454 Chevy, big block Chevy engine in it with a BDS blower with a set of Webers on top of it. Run a Richmond 6-speed transmission in it for the overdrive.
Okay.
Got a narrow Dana 60 rear in it with 410 gear ratio. Run some drag radial tires on it.
Now, Andy, have you run the car before?
Never run it. I've owned the car probably almost 17 years now, and finally finished it up this summer. So
Oh, okay.
it's
So
been
it's
a
new.
long,
All right.
long project.
Did you happen to put it on the dyno that's up here?
No, I didn't run it on the dyno.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Do you have any idea of what you're putting out?
It was a little over 500 horsepower on a normal dyno.
Right.
Almost 600 foot-pounds of torque out of it.
Okay. What's inside the motor?
Steel crank, ARP fasteners, small blower camshaft, and nothing crazy. Ross pistons, and the BDS blower on it. Run roller rockers.
And the ratio of the blower?
It's 1-to-1 we run on for the ratio on it.
Okay. All right. I guess it's got a lot of power to it, so you must
It's-
have a kick with it on the street.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun to drive. A lot of fun to
You're gonna
drive.
have more fun on a track because now you don't have to worry about anything.
Well, that's going to tell everybody what it can actually do. It'd be nice to have
yeah,
that time
and-
slip
and-
for
and
bragging
I'm
rights.
sure you're anxious to really be able to put your foot in and not have to worry about it. you know?
Yeah, I am.
Great car. It's clean. You know what? It's painted black, and any car that's painted black has to be pretty perfect because it shows all the imperfections. You know, and this car is really straight.
The paint's actually 10 years old on it.
Is it?
Yeah, paint's been painted for quite a while, so
You spend a lot of time keeping it waxed.
that's the biggest thing. Keep it inside.
Listen, good luck at the track.
Thank
all right,
you.
just be safe and enjoy.
Thanks. Nice
Andy,
meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
No, we got the big batteries and the extra winding. Plenty of torque.
All right, wait a minute.
Swing away, stir.
Hang on. Okay. Move it again. Okay, very good. That's
What
a
are you filming this for?